Are you worried by the signs of middle aging? Yes. Yes, I am. It creeps up on you, you know. First of all, they're just little things and you sort of put them to the back of your mind and try and ignore them. But then they become bigger and more persistent. And then before you know it, you've become middle-aged. And I know quite a few of you watching, I think, are still what we would class as quite young. Young adults, people in the 20s and 30s. And you think that this isn't going to come to you because you eat well and you probably do stomach crunches every day and regular yoga or jogging. But it will come. It will come. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it will. And I'm here to show you those warning signs today with my 6 signs of middle aging. So the most obvious sign of middle aging is of course all to do with your hair on your top of your head and the rest of your face. Let's take me for example. I'm just starting to recede a bit. The hair's going there, you can see there. It's just going up a bit. It's not too bad. If you look on the top, it's pretty good. I mean, I might get a shock when I come to actually watch this, but I think not too bad there. But as much as you start losing your hair on the top, you start gaining it elsewhere. It starts coming in your ears. It grows at an incredible rate in your ears. I know this is disgusting. I know you don't want to hear this, but it is the truth. I remember seeing, I've told about this person I've mentioned on the vlog before, about someone I saw on a tube train, an older gentleman who had eyebrow hairs that just came out like this, like about 10 or 12 of them off each set of eyebrows. I'm not exaggerating, they were up here. They must have been 3 or 4 inches long minimum, right? And I also saw once this guy who had really hairy ears, extremely hairy ears, and I was young and naive and I was really fascinated by it, and I just thought it was weird, but that's what happens. This head stops here and starts coming out everywhere else. There's also obviously the issue of grey hair. So this here is a special microscope, actually belongs to my son. You hook it up to your phone and it's really good at looking at, obviously it's a microscope, you know what a microscope does. I'm going to use it to show you some of my grey hairs that are starting to take over my head. Here we go, I'm just going to plug it onto my hair here and it should come up. There we go. You can see there's some blonde hairs, you know, very, very dark black hair in there. But also, as you can see, some silvery grey, quite clear hairs, they almost look. Yeah, my skin looks disgusting, it's not really attractive, is it? There you go, look at that. Almost perfect shot there of a grey hair behind a couple of dark hairs and a couple of dark blonde hairs there. Amazing. It's really interesting. You can do, look at this, if I do my chin, yeah, look at that. You can see them like tree stumps where I've shaved. How weird is that? Anyway, bit of a tangent. I don't mind grey hairs too much. I'm not arrogant enough to think I'm going to become a silver fox, much as I'd like to, but I would settle to be something of a silver stoat, if that could be possible. Oh, there you go. There's another one. Yeah, that noise I made, that involuntary sort of groan I made as I squatted into this slightly uncomfortable position, that's happening more and more now. Whenever I sort of squat down or bend down or sit down, I make that sort of noise, like that. Can't help it. It's a sign of middle aging. And on that subject, I've recently had a bad lower back, which is very much a sign of middle aging. Don't know how I did that. Don't know if it was over-enthusiastic scootering on my way into work or bad posture. I do have bad posture, it could be that. But whatever it is, I had quite bad lower back pain. And it's receded slightly, but it's still not great. And this is how I have to pick stuff up. I've dropped a peg over there. I'll just show you what I look like when I have to bend over to pick something up. There we go, like a really old man. It's humiliating. And the worst of it is that it's only going to get worse from here. You know, I'm just going to be talking about aches and pains and problems with my joints for probably the rest of my life. Yeah, here's another one. Caution, just generally being sensible and cautious and not wanting to get caught out. You know, I'm now the sort of person that will take an umbrella with me in my bag. It's got loads of other stuff in it that I don't really need, but I've got just in case on my way to work, regardless of whether it's likely to rain or not. You know, here's a great example of the sort of caution I now exercise. When we went on holiday the other week down to the south coast, I almost took 5 pairs of shoes with me. 5 pairs of my sort of normal trainers that I wear day to day, slightly more robust pair of trainers in case it rained and I didn't want my normal trainers to get a little bit ruined, my flip-flops for wearing around the caravan, my water shoes if I wanted to go into the water or walk along the pebbly beach, and of course my Toms, my canvas shoes, very light canvas shoes, in case suddenly out of nowhere the temperature rose to 25 degrees and it was nice and hot and sunny and I wanted a pair of shoes to go out in that weren't my flip-flops but were lighter than trainers, and they're perfect for that. So that's 5 pairs, and I almost took 5 pairs of shoes for a 7-day holiday, nearly a pair of shoes for each day. Luckily my wife told me to leave 2 of them at home, and I just took the 3. I did wear the 3, but in days gone by just 1 pair of trainers would have done, wouldn't it? That's what most younger people would do. Yeah, hangovers. I mean, you get hangovers at all ages, of course, but when you start middle-aging, they become erratic and unpredictable. I mean, I used to get some pretty terrible hangovers when I was younger. I wasn't a big drinker, my body's not really built for it, but if I had a great deal of beer and didn't really drink any water, or I mixed a lot of drinks together, I could have a pretty horrendous hangover. My hangover on my 18th birthday was probably, it's still up there, still top 3 as a really terrible hangover. But now, I don't know where I'm at. You know, I know what my limits are, but I don't know where I'm at. So I've been out and had 1 or 2 glasses of wine with a meal, thinking, that's going to be fine. All I'm doing is having a glass or 2 of wine. That's not going to affect me at all. And I wake up the next day with a banging headache. But on the other hand, I've also been out, drunk far too much, and thought I am really going to pay for this tomorrow, and woken up not fresh as a daisy, but kind of, you know, thanking the Lord that I haven't got the terrible hangover that I was expecting. Because when middle-aged hangovers do come, nothing can prepare you for their severity. And they don't just last a morning or a day like they used to when you were younger. No, they can last for 2 or 3 days. Hangovers. Anyway, cheers. I've always loved a daytime nap. I mean, who doesn't? Especially in front of the cricket or the tennis or the snooker. Something very nice about that mid-afternoon snooze in front of some peaceful sport. But now it seems more urgent. I mean, I can remember my dad and my granddad would fall asleep on a Sunday afternoon in front of the football after a big lunch. That was quite common for that to happen. And I always used to just think, why are you falling asleep? I'd be full of beans wanting to run around and play football or whatever. But now I kind of get it. Now, if I have a really busy day out with Leo, or we're, you know, up and around somewhere doing activities and all of that, I get home and I feel like I'm suffering from some kind of exhaustion. And I just go, I just need 20 minutes now, Leo. I just need 20 minutes. And it's not, I want to have a nice, cosy snooze like I might have used to have done. It's because I need it. I mean, my whole body just starts collapsing and just says, look, I just need to have a sleep. And so I lie down and I just have a 20-minute power nap. And that's all I need, but I'm all the better for it. But still, didn't need to do this kind of thing 10 years ago. I'm having problems with my memory. Yeah, that's a real sign of middle aging. That's been getting steadily worse for a while. I'm really struggling with the memory. I can't, I've had to record this bit about 6 times because I can't remember what I was supposed to say. But it's not things. It's not like I forget where I've left something or I can't find something. It's more people's names that's particularly bad. I remember my dad used to be terrible, or still is, with the names of footballers. And he wouldn't be able to tell you their name, but he'd be able to sort of tell you their backstory. So he'd start talking about someone, I'd say, who do you mean? And he'd say, oh, played for Millwall. I'll go, that's not helping. He goes, oh yeah, it was on loan to Nottingham Forest for a month 7 years ago. So he'll know all those facts, but won't actually be able to tell us the name of the person he's talking about. And I'll have to piece together that jigsaw till I finally get to the player he means. That's me now. I just, those names have just gone out my head. I don't know if I've just reached my capacity of footballers' names. Now I'm in my mid-40s. And then there's this vlog, for example. I thought about this idea about the problems of middle aging, and I started jotting down notes on my iPhone in the Notes app. And one night I wrote down jeans. You can see it there. And I've got no idea what that was. I do not know why I wrote down jeans as one of the signs of middle aging. There should actually be 7 signs of middle aging, but because of my middle-aged memory loss, there's only 6 because I can't remember what the jeans one is all about. So there we go, the 6 signs of middle aging. If you or anyone else in your family or any of your friends or loved ones are suffering from any of these symptoms, then it's very possible you might too be suffering from the onset of middle age. Don't worry, it is something that passes, if only into old age. See you next week.